As we know, unfortunately, Mr. Mohammed Nasheed, currently the Speaker of the Maldives Parliament and the first democratically elected president of the island country, was grievously injured by a bomb attack in front of his residence, which is supposed to be or designated by the Maldivians as a terrorist attack. And several surgeries later, he has been recovering, and I believe that he has been flown to Germany for further treatment. He's a fighter, and he'll come out of it. We have seen it in the past, and he has gone through several ups and downs in his life. I had met him in Rwanda last year when I had gone there for this Rice and Dialogue on Africa, basically. That was so. I met him, and I found him to be a man with a mission. I mean, like he's the one person who had even conducted his cabinet meeting under the sea to talk about the climate change. So he's one person who has been talking openly, and he has been very critical of the radicalization and of the extremist group on the island, which have been increasing in time, and they are causing a very major problem. Of course, so far it seems that no group has taken any responsibility for it. 2 people have been arrested, but the fingers point towards the ISIS or its converted lot. As far as terrorism or extremism is concerned, you'll be surprised that Maldives has the per capita highest number of radicalized people going into different places, whether it's in Syria or in Iraq or other wars. There are largest number of people who have gone from here in a small island to join the ISIS. There are very good support from Salafi jihadist groups, of course, to Al-Qaeda. So they have been indulging for quite some time now into these kind of terrorist and extremist activities, killing tourists, sometimes the government officials, sometimes blowing up the boats belonging to the government, and there are umpteen number of groups. The thing is that Maldives also has several islands, and many of these groups operate out of those islands, and that's where they have been able to find their supporters. They are recruiting. They get trained in Pakistan and elsewhere. Now many of them have returned after the ISIS, have come back to Maldives. And actually it is said that the Maldives has become a good haven for these kind of terrorists. There is some group called DOT for that matter. In fact, in the beginning when there were elections held, they did not like the whole idea of this democratic government, which was not Islamic government in the way they thought it should be. They thought it should be Islamic state and not an apostate. And therefore, they have been continuing the terrorist groups in their fight to decimate democracy in the country. And that's why countries like India and others continue to support the democratic credentials, the democratic institutions, and the leaders. It's important, and India has been concerned, provided all the assistance to our friends in Maldives, and of course to Mr. Nasheed himself. We wish him a speedy recovery, and we hope that the government will be able to deal with these terrorist groups appropriately, and the countries that are supporting these terrorist groups must be brought to book and accounted for.